on the telecast now. What can you tell us more about these protests and the fact that now there is even a ceasefire in effect? How long will this go on for, and what are the sentiments surrounding it?
Well, yes, Meher. Like you very rightly mentioned that protesters in Valencia are calling for solidarity with Palestinian protests going on. Now, as you rightly mentioned, that this has happened in a sports event just shows the intolerance, or just shows the condemnation that Israel is facing with regards to its ceasefire deal with Gaza in its recent history. Now, very lately, not only in Valencia, but Italy has seen protests like these, similar to these, during a soccer event. In fact, this happened today itself during a World Cup qualifier soccer match between Italy and Israel. Israel and Hamas are in their two-phase deal of the ceasefire. Although they do mention that they are on ceasefire, there have been reports that Israel has still attacked Palestine and Hamas on the borders. Not only in Valencia and not only in Italy, but pro-Palestinian protests have actually seeped down to different parts of the world, like Chile and Japan. Actually, in Chile, students took to the demonstration in Santiago, and when Hamas marked its 2-year anniversary of the 7 October attack. Even in Japan, hundreds of protesters, including Palestinians, marched in downtown Tokyo, calling for a ceasefire. Now, regardless of the ceasefire that has taken place, all 20 living hostages have actually been released by Hamas. Hamas also said on Monday that it will hand over the bodies of have actually handed over 4 of the remains of the bodies. Israel has said that more than 2,000 Palestinian prisoners have also been released as part of this ceasefire deal. Now, with this mass condemnation that is seeping through globally, it is not only affecting global trade dynamics or politics, but it's also seeping into the world of sports. Any kind of activity that Israel has is facing condemnation. Unfortunately, we don't know how long, even though they say that ceasefire is still in action, yet we are going to wait and see how in the coming days we handle, and hope that Israel and Hamas have no more further clashes harming any civilians ahead.
Well, thank you, Marisha. Now I would like to move on. A top US commander in the Middle East, Admiral Brad Cooper, has urged Hamas to stop targeting Palestinian civilians under public execution of alleged collaborations. He called on the group to fully comply with US President Donald Trump's 20-point Gaza peace plan and disarm, seize the historic opportunity for peace. Since the partial Israeli withdrawal under the US-backed ceasefire, Hamas has still intensified control over Gaza, carrying out street executions and clashes with armed clans. Cooper stressed that mediators is working to enforce peace and protect civilians. Israel and US maintain that Hamas cannot have a role in any future Gaza government. Now moving on, NATO will take new measures to counter drone threats. Secretary General Mark Rutte said that a NATO Defence Minister said this at a NATO Defence Ministers meeting in Brussels. He highlighted and the stepped up violence along the eastern flank, including the Eastern Sentry initiative in the Baltic Sea. NATO is testing systems to detect and track and neutralize aerial threats and will use procurement to rapidly develop cost-effective counter-drone capabilities. NATO also noted recent cooperation with Ukraine and 9 allies to support Denmark's drone defense. He emphasized NATO's defense nature and readiness to act against threats and close coordination with the European Union on military capabilities. Let's in fact listen into what the NATO General Secretary Mark Rutte had to say.
We also discussed our deterrence and defense posture and some of the ways in which we are innovating to deal with new and novel challenges, including those posed by drones. As a result, NATO will implement a number of additional counter-drone measures that will build on and expand and accelerate our ability to counter drones. Earlier this month, 9 allies came together along with Ukraine to support Denmark's ability to counter potential drone threats. I think this is a powerful example of the quick and effective cooperation that is made possible through NATO.
Now